Yo ho, what's going on? This is the Battle Blaster coming back at you with something new. I wanted to talk to you about the unfair. This is just a little rant I'm gonna do. This is about the little unfair laws that are put upon black people in this country compared to whites. Alright, I'm going to make this short and sweet, and I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can. Recently, there was a case put on this gentleman by the name of Drake Bell. He had a Disney Channel television show years ago called Drake and Josh. A lot of y'all might remember him. A lot of y'all might not. But Drake Bell plays a teenager, and he has a stepbrother. They both go to school together, and they're close friends who are like brothers, and they become stepbrothers. So forget all that fucking bullshit. Let's go into the media anyway. Drake Bell was accused of sexually, forcefully raping a young white girl, when she was 15. Now Drake was in his 20s at that time, his late 20s. His mid-20s, let's say. And he was looking at sentencing up to two years behind jail, which he only got 2 years of probation, community service, and that's it. Now let's look at people like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby supposedly raped all these women with the same type of story, the same story. If you look at it, nothing has changed but the date. And these women lied. A lot more drug heads, like what's her name, Janet Dickerson. It was a couple other drug head women. You all see they all drugged out, and you don't sit here and say, oh, they drugged out because of Bill Cosby did this to them. No, Janet Dickerson was a drug head back in the 70s, a big drug head during the disco era. Ask the story. Look at her story when she talks about club. What is that club called in New York? Club. It wasn't called 67 or 69, whatever the fuck that club was called. But it was like a hot club back in the day. I forgot the name of it. My head hurt and I can't even remember. But whatever that club was called, Club 98, Club 65, Club 77, 78, whatever it was called. That club that they had was a disco club, and it was more gay people and celebrities running through that piece than anything. She was drugging it up and having sex with whoever the hell she was going to have sex with. So that woman has been on a train for a long time. You dig? So and she even was on Howard Stern talking about how she screwed so many men. She was straight up and bold about it. This is before the Cosby thing even popped off. This is back in like the 90s when she said this. She was on Howard Stern's show. I remember that, like late 90s, early 2000s, before Cosby even popped off like that. Because I used to listen to Howard Stern in the morning. I thought he was amusing until you could start seeing his racism. But nevertheless, Bill Cosby goes to jail 3 years. Just about 3 years. and went in jail for something that he shouldn't even been in jail for, because they went back on their word and tried him again and so-called found him guilty. You see the difference between there? Now, some white people on here or some black people might sit up and say, well, that's no different. You know, that was just allegation. But Cosby really did it. Okay, what about the little white kid who dumpster fucked the girl? He was in college. I forgot his name. He dumpster fucked somebody. Drug her out into the back of the fucking dumpster when she passed out drunk. I think she had a dress on, lifted up her dress and pulled her panties down and fucked her while her friend was trying to beat on him and get him off. It's not funny, but it just shows you these animal motherfuckers. And he got off. He only did a couple weeks in jail, and he was supposed to do 3 years. 3 years turned to 2 turned to 1 turned to 6 months, 6 months turned into 2 months, and then 2 months turned into like 3 weeks, and his ass was out. And the judge said, we don't want to ruin his future. We don't want to ruin his life. So we're not going to charge him with sexual rape, and we're not going to put what do they call that shit? They put that damn label on you so you fucked up for the rest of your life. A sex offender. We're not gonna put a sex offender on you for the rest of your life. So they didn't even charge him with that. They didn't even fucking hit him with that. So okay, so make a long story short, he gets off. Now he's a white kid. Enter this young black brother from, and I forgot his name. He was in, I think he was in Kentucky, somewhere around there, or Ohio, Idaho or something. He was going to a college out there. All he did was take the girl back home. They touched, he felt, kissed. And that was it. I talked about this before. When people found out and said that, they found out that she was with him, she screamed rape. They came, swooped him up. They didn't find no semen. They didn't find forced entry. None of that. None of it. And some of you gonna say, well, he may have had a condom. Forced entry is forced entry. You're gonna see some type of bruising. You're gonna see some type of scratches, whatever, in that area. Not a scratch, nothing underneath his nails, nothing. Only thing that they got was his saliva from him, his saliva from her saliva from him. That was it. No skin, no nail, nothing. That young man now is serving 20 fucking years in jail. That judge didn't say, oh, I don't want to ruin his life, so I'm going to make sure this young man goes back to school and he's going to get this, that, the other. They knew that little bitch was fucking lying, and guess what they did? Exactly. They put him behind bars and threw away the fucking cape. This is why I'm upset with Black Lives Matter. I might like the name, but this is why I'm upset with these assholes. And anybody who supports them. This is why we should have a fund for these young black men and black women. A lawyer fund. This is why I keep telling people, stop trying to chase the bag, so to speak. If you want to chase a bag, chase it righteously. Become a lawyer. Take on cases like this. So these people can get the bag from these fucking crooked ass judges, these crooked ass people out here who's helped putting these young black men and women and some of these black celebrities who ain't even doing nothing in jail. I'm not really concerned about the black celebrities too much, but they are black, and if they're being wrong, then we must deal with it. This is why we need funds. This is why Black Lives Matter should have had a fund set up But being that they were controlled by people like George Soros, who put his money in it, and his constituents, they're not supposed to go after and get money and go after those people who are protected by those individuals. They are supposed to go after. They're not supposed to go after anybody. They're supposed to just make enough noise, get money, and go about their business, and that's it. Black Lives Matter is no fucking friend to black people. That's all I'm saying. Seriously. We should have our own legal funds. We should have our own lawyers. We should have something so when shit like this arise, this young man don't have to spend his fucking, I think he's been in there for 4 years now, 3-4 years in prison over kissing somebody who wanted to be with him. They never had sex. This young man went to jail. He still is in jail from what I can understand. And Drake Bell is out of jail and he actually did a rape. That's one to grow on, right? Black people, it's time for us to stop bullshitting and thinking about ourselves and start thinking about each other. Start thinking about, yo, that can't happen to me. And one day you wake up, it's your son, your daughter, you, your brother, your sister on the fucking 6 o'clock news going to jail for so-called rape or going to jail for something that they didn't do. They are showing their hand. These people are showing their hand like a motherfucker. And as black people, we're sitting around doing, it can't happen to me, so I don't care. And then when it happened to you, oh, this is unfair. Start doing what we need to do. There was a black woman, real quick. There was a black woman in New Jersey at some mall in the ritzy parts of New Jersey here. She was at a Victoria's Secret getting some free panties because they give them a little coupon to come in and shop. So if you go in there and you want a pair of free panties, you give them up the coupon, they give you a pair of free panties. That's to lure you into the store. So you see something you might like, you'll buy it. That creates revenue and business. Smart tactic. Sometimes it works, most times it doesn't. But anywho, she was attacked by this white woman. And the white woman went off and started acting like she was having nervous breakdown, going crazy and shit. No, the typical white woman shit. And this woman was asked to leave the mall, period. They didn't even tell them. If I was the cops, I'd be like, look, bitch, you started the shit. She got you on video. You have to leave the fucking mall. You gotta leave. We're gonna walk you to your car. Not the other way around, but those cops was on so-called code. They worked with their own. Black people and black police officers who's out there, stop being pussies and start being on code. This is going to turn into something very, very ugly, and it's actually turning to it now. And these white people, they ain't got no fucking care in the world. They ready to kill and shoot us right now. But it's up to you. I don't know. It's up to y'all to think about what you want to do, because a lot of y'all so scared. Oh, what about this? What about that? Wake the fuck up. These people don't like you. They call you niggas all outside your name. Sometimes they do it in front of your face. And a lot of you pussy ass motherfuckers, y'all don't do shit. You ain't built to do nothing. Because you just worried about getting that retirement and retiring. Bitch, I'm telling you, the United States is not going to make it for another 20 years. The United States ain't going to make it for another 10 years. The United States is on her way out. She's already on both of her knees. And she's gagging for fucking breath right now. Black people get together, start thinking that the world's going to keep turning the way it does. Start buying your asses some rations. Start stacking up on water, some toiletries, some stuff that you know you need. and start worrying about you and yours and the neighborhoods that we come from. Don't worry about no other culture out there. Don't worry about everybody else, because they ain't worried about us. We might live with the Spanish people or next to them. A lot of them don't worry about us. Worry about your fucking self. All right, y'all. This is the Battle Blaster. I'm out. Peace.